When you log into your nutrition portal on the Adrenaline Rush Training website, you'll be able to update your body composition goals or set them, right? Just make sure that it's in line with what you want for your goal, because this is what your daily calorie goal and what your macro goals is going to be based off of. So for me, you can see in red here, I've got my body composition goal set as fat loss. I've got my goal weight at 175 pounds. I can adjust that because that's a little ridiculous. Well, let's say it's maybe, yeah, I think 185 is ideal for me. Body fat percentage goal there, and then my weekly weight change goal. So I think I'm around 195 now. And so I want to drop 10 pounds, and I want to do about a pound a week here, right? So I just want to update and make sure everything's good to go there. Okay, so when I do that, you can see that my daily goal here is at 1,984 calories per day, right? And when we go down here to the weekly meal plan builder, you can see that, again, my calorie goal is 1,984 calories. And that puts me in a 500 calorie deficit per day, which hypothetically, theoretically, is going to lead to a pound per week, right? Because there's 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So that's basically how you do the math here. Furthermore, you can see my protein goal for the day, 241 grams. So I'm at a little bit more than a gram, maybe a 1.25 grams per pound of body weight or something like that. And I've got my fat goal at 37 grams, which is 17% of my daily calorie goal. And I've got my carb goal at 172 grams. Now, the system did this for me. I didn't have to do this. So we've already set this up for you, okay? But basically, what's your goal? That's going to set what's your weekly goal? That's going to set your calorie ceiling for the day, okay? We've already mapped out your protein, your fat, and your carbs, and on our end, we can adjust that accordingly, right? So if we need to make adjustments to your macros, we'll do that as we go here, okay? But there's two main ways that you can do this, because knowing what your calorie ceiling should be and what your macros should be for the day to achieve your goals, and then actually doing that, are two different things. And, realistically, most of us are just slightly eating little by little. It's like we're just barely overeating, and that's leading to a consistent weight gain over time. So we can reverse that by just slightly under eating and eating in an organized way where we're getting enough protein, right? But we're also not being overly restrictive in what it is that we're actually eating, because there's room in your diet for everything, honestly. Anything that's edible, there's room in it for your diet, as long as you're structuring your overall daily and more importantly, weekly nutrition in line. You're okay as long as those calories are set up, right? So as long as you're not overeating, man, and as long as you're eating the things that you need to eat for your body to grow and be healthy, there's room for everything. So how are you going to track it? You could either do a daily food log where you can select meal by meal. So if I know today I ate 5 eggs, I can load that in there. If I'm getting ready to eat a protein shake or drink a protein shake, I can load this in here really quick. So I'll do that. Let's say right now I'm going to have a supplement, and I'm going to do, I think it's on drinks. No, it should be on, here we go. Yeah. So let's say I'm going to do, let's say this is my protein here. I'll log that, and you can see it counts off. So now I've consumed more protein. So total, I've consumed 53 grams so far today for my protein, and I still need 188 grams. Right? So all these circles are tracking my nutrition on my macros and my calories as I go, right? And if I forget, I can just go back and log it in at the end of the day, right? And I can log everything in, right? So that's my check-in at the end of the day. Or I can do it as I go throughout the day, right? But I at least want to look back and do it at the end of the day so that I can make sure that I'm not overeating, right? And remember, maybe we did overeat, but it's not. And then again, we can still fall back to, okay, well, what's my weekly average going to be? And I can make sure that overall for the rest of the week, I can adjust accordingly, right? So we've made it very easy for you to do that, right? But let's say that's not really the most ideal way for you to do this. You could also open up the weekly meal plan builder here, and you can build your meals, right? So it's already set up. You've got 1984 as your daily calorie ceiling. You got your protein goals here, your fat, your carbs, all your macros highlighted in yellow on the right. And then on the left, everything's zeroed out, because that's the numbers that are going to accumulate and count for the meal plan that we build. So we're going to go through and build the meal plan now. You can build up to 6 meals. We've got it set up by calorie breakdown with a macro breakdown. Okay, so meal 1, let's say I'm going to do maybe 4 egg whites, and let's say maybe I do some rice with that. And you can see when I scroll back up here, meal 1 is 169 calories, 14 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, 24 grams of carbohydrates. If I scroll up a little further, I can compare that with my daily goals. I can also compare the calories up top here, and then I can move on to meal 2, right? For meal 2, I'm just going to do a double scoop protein shake. Where are we at? Right here, 2 scoops. And then maybe a piece of fruit on top of that. So I'll also have a peach with that, right? Meal 3, maybe this will be lunch. I'll have some chicken thighs. I'll have some potatoes. So let's say some red potatoes. And maybe I'll also have some broccoli with that. All right, I'll move on to meal 4. With meal 4, I'll have another protein shake. With this one, I'll also do 2 scoops. And that's it. With meal 5, I'll do, this will be dinner. So here I'll do maybe this week let's do 6 ounces of ground bison. Let's do some more rice. And maybe let's do some asparagus with dinner. All right. And then meal 6, if I want maybe a little bit more protein, I'll add some cottage cheese. Right. So I can scroll back up here. I can see the daily, or excuse me, the meal by meal breakdown for the calories, the protein, the fat, and the carbs. Right. And then I can check my daily ceiling here. So remember my ceiling was 1984, and with the meals I've built, I'm at 1841. Okay, so I'm good to go. I'm up under my ceiling, right? So I'm not only am I in the deficit, but I'm in an even deeper deficit. Okay, for the calories. So you can see I've got an additional deficit of 143 per day, which leads to a calorie bank by the end of the week of 1,000 additional calories. Okay, so here on the macro breakdown, you can see my protein goal was 241 grams. With the meals that I've built, I've only got 192 grams of protein here. Now for me, like I said, I'm around 190, 195, so 192 is perfectly fine. And for most people, like that's perfectly fine or even more than enough. Okay, my fat goal was 37 grams. But with the meals that I've built, I've actually got 59 grams of fat in my daily. My protein goal, my carb goal was 172 grams, but I built a meal plan with 137 grams. Now, nothing's exact, right? You don't have to be super exact with this, but we can do a little bit better job here, especially with our fat. So we can go through and find out which meals have the most fat, and it looks like meal 3 and meal 13, and by far meal 3. So we'll go check out meal 3 and see what it is about meal 3 that's so fatty. And it's the chicken thighs, right? Chicken thighs are a much fattier meat. So we could just switch this out for chicken breast, right? So we'll do that. Oh, alphabetical order. So let's go 4 ounces of chicken breast, right? And we can see the fat dropped down to 6 grams and for that meal. And then our daily total was 33, or it is 33 now. And so we're up under our ceiling. So cool. And also our protein shot up a little bit, right? Because chicken breast has more protein than chicken thighs does, right? So this is pretty close. This is really good. So what we'll do now, we'll lock this meal plan in. Let's check our deficit again. So we're in we could afford even some more calories, right? So we're at 1695 right now for our daily calories. And the goal, or the ceiling, was 1984. So we bought ourselves an additional 289 calories, right? And for the week, or for 7 days, that's an additional 2,023 calories, okay? And what that does for you is it provides plenty of room to create meals that are full of the foods that you like, and also accumulate a very nice cheat meal or a couple snacks throughout maybe the weekend or something like that, right? So as long as you track this and you track those, you'll be able to reach your goals week after week after week. I think building the plan is the best way to go. But if you just want to do the track it as you go model, we provide that as well. Okay, if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll be here for you. I also want you to keep your weight, right? We got to track where we're at. That makes sure that we're either in the calorie deficit that we want for the week, or we need to make some adjustments, right? And the same goes if you're trying to gain weight. We need to hit that surplus week after week and make sure that's what's being reflected on the scale, or we need to make some adjustments, okay? So we need those weigh-ins. Was that not recording?